you doing? Freddie here. Just gonna give you an introduction to myself. Some people know me, some people don't. I know a few of you have been watching the videos with me and Simon. Basically, I compete in strongman. Last year I was one of the top 105s, going to go up to the Opens this year. I work as a personal trainer, train a lot of bodybuilding guys, train a lot of females trying to lose weight, train a lot of guys trying to lose weight, so I work with a lot of people there. And what I want to talk to you today about is food. How I cook the meals, what kind of food I eat, how I keep my food clean so I'm not eating rubbish every day, how much I eat throughout the day, because some people just, they don't realise how much you've got to eat throughout the day to bulk. Currently bulking at the moment, just to give that information. How I take it to work with me every day. The most useful bag in the world that I've got, it is amazing. And what sort of supplements I use, and other bits and bobs like that. So let's get cracking. Okay, so first thing I want to show you, this is my kitchen. This is where all the magic happens. So that's all the dishes we go through every day. This thing, I'm sure everyone's heard of them, is a lifesaver. Best thing that's ever invented. George Foreman, very good cooking the chicken. The next thing I'd like to show you, very useful piece of equipment, is this six-pack fitness. It is amazing. You keep all your meals in here. You can keep your protein shakes on the side. Your other bits and bobs in here. It's perfect. It's the best thing ever. So that's what I use every day. I like to cook everything in the oven. Okay, next thing. That's a dog. She's dirty. Out of the way. Move. Okay, so this is where I keep my chicken on a daily basis. I get all of my chicken from the butchers. It cost me about £23 for 5 kilos. Lasts me about a week. Then what I like to do is I tend to chuck it in these food bags. I do 4 breasts per bag, which lasts me a day for all of my meals. Chuck it in the freezer once they're in the bags, and then pull it out the night before you're going to cook. So that keeps that all ready. Chicken can last in there a good, couple of months, but you should be going through a little faster than that. This is where I keep all my carbs. So I got my tortilla wraps. I got my rice, my long grain rice, nice and easy. 10 minutes in the old pot. Got my Nando's. Can't live without Nando's. Got my marinades. Peanut butter at the back. If you're going to go with the peanut butter, try and go for your organic stuff. It's always going to be so much better for you. It's not going to have loads of trans fats and other rubbish and bits and bobs in it. Got my farm. Not a big egg user, surprisingly. I tend to go with your Egg Nation, which is all egg whites in a pot, which is, I will show you one, but I don't know what I'm using. So I'm using SSN Anabolic Muscle Builder. It's just an all-in-one. It's got your glutamine, your creatine, your protein, your carbs all in one. I'm lazy, so that's why I go with that. This is what I have for breakfast. Apparently this fuels your day, so that's why I'm rocking that. Now, I use that because I like Weetabix. I like to have a little bit of relax in the morning, and rather than trying to stuff down a whole bunch of, bread and eggs and all that sort of stuff, so I go with that. Okay, so this is me preparing the chicken. First thing I always do is I get myself a baking tray and I wrap it in foil. Now the reason I do that is I'm lazy and I don't like washing up. Put it in the foil, any mess, you close the foil up and just chuck it in the bin. Alright, so I've got my 4 chicken breasts. This is my meals all for tomorrow, not including my breakfast. What I've got on the chicken breast is your peri peri marinade. Now if you ever look at your peri peri marinade, see if we can zoom in on that. At worst, overall that, I've got maybe, your bad points there, maybe 9 grams of sugars. Which is not terrible, and it just means that you can taste something that isn't going to taste just like bland, boring chicken. So, 9 grams of sugars throughout my day isn't going to be horrendous. So, I've got that. I've got my oven ready. Got it on around about the 150 mark. There's the oven open. Cook my face. Then what I tend to do, obviously put it in there. And I'll leave it in there for a good 30 minutes. The next thing I tend to do is work out what I'm going to have with my carbs. So the carbs I'm going to have tomorrow is my breakfast. I'm going to have a pita bread. So show you the pita bread if I can find it. It is. So breakfast pita bread, whole grain pita bread. There is your facts on the pita bread. Always make sure you know what you're eating. You know, so look up your facts, and it makes your life a lot easier. So each pita for me is going to be about 30 grams of carbs. I could do with a little bit more of that, so I tend to have about 1.5, maybe 2. And then what I have for the other meals is I'm going to have some rice. So I've got your basic basmati rice. I'm going to have 75 grams per meal. I've got 2 meals, so chuck it on the old scales. See, it's really hard to look through the camera and do it at the same time. They're perfect, sitting right on the 150 mark there. That's going to last me for a good 2 meals. The last meal I'm going to have is going to be a tortilla. I'm going to have that at home, so I usually just leave the tortillas and tend to sort them out when I get back home. Okay, so my water's boiled now, so what I'm going to do is take my rice, which is my 2 meals. I've chucked a little bit of salt in there to give it a little bit of flavour. Not a lot, just a tiny bit. Chuck the rice in. 15 minutes later, that's job done. Okay, so cooking's done. That's the remnants of my tray. What we've got here is we've got 4 meals. We've got your 250 grams of chicken in each meal. And then in the first 2 meals, I've got my 75 grams of rice, which is around about 60 grams of carbs. With my 2 chicken breasts, which are also around about 50 grams of protein. In this meal, I've got my 50 grams of protein, with my 2 pita breads, which are again about 50 grams of carbs. And in this meal, which is my last evening meal, another 250 grams of protein. But what I'll have with that is I'll have a wrap, which is probably about 25 to 30 grams of carbs. So that's going to be my 5 meals throughout the day, not including my breakfast. So that's all the meals cooked. Took me about 30 to 45 minutes. I watched a bit of telly during that, so I wasn't sitting in the kitchen the whole time. Now we're all ready to go for tomorrow. It's all packed in the bag, all ready. No rush in the morning, no stress. Keep those stress levels nice and low. Keeps nice and lean. Now, a couple of problems that I know some people get to is they're like, I just can't get enough food in the day. How do I eat that much? You know, what do I do? I would say your best thing, the best tip you could ever do is prepare your meals. You know, if you're prepared, you're much more likely to be able to eat them throughout the day, even if you're rushed. You know, all you need is sort of 5 minutes to ram a bit of chicken and turkey down your throat. So, you know, the biggest thing to do is just prepare. If you're not prepared, don't say to yourself, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow morning. Just do it. Just get it done at night time. It takes 30, 45 minutes. It's all done. It's all ready. You're good to go. No stress. So that's the biggest tip I would say with that. And measure out your food. So, you know, I eat quite a lot because I'm trying to bulk at the moment. That may not work for everyone. Some people are more carb intolerant, so I'll put on more fat. I tend to get away with it a little bit more. Some people aren't, so they're going to eat more carbs, more protein. So you need to just experiment with it. Start with, you know, a basic, you know, depending on your size, 40 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbs, you know, a couple of times a day. See how you're getting on with it. You know, if you're trying to bulk, it's not working, take it up a little bit. Try and eat every 3 hours and just follow the basic, you know, bodybuilding guidelines. And just go from there. Keep everything simple, and you know, always leave a bit of room for improvement. So you know, you always improve in nutrition. I mean, I've been doing it for quite a few years now, and I still think to myself, I could get that better. I could be better this week than I was last week. So there's always room for improvement. You know, there's always room to not make mistakes. Oh, little phone call. So yeah, keep this variable simple. Keep your food simple. Know what you're eating. Make sure you keep it clean and don't eat rubbish. It's tough. Bulking's tough. You know, you got to eat. You got to eat and eat and eat. So keep it simple. Make it easy. The easier it is, the easier you're going to do it. So that's this video for today. Keep tuned. Hopefully we can get some more videos out soon. We've got an interview coming up with a top-notch bodybuilder guy, he's a pro. So he's a superstar. So we've got that interview coming up. A few more scientifics coming up soon. So that's going to be good. So everyone just keep watching.